Hello, everybody. William Davis with A.P.C Photography, WDC Media, in partnership with several different organizations in Seattle. That would be Converge, the Elite Collective, and other organizations here. Uh, First off, we're talking about wireless microphones today. What is the best wireless system to be using? Now, it's going to vary a little bit. If you're going to be doing social media wireless, it will be one type of mic. If you're going to be doing ENG work or other type of work, and you do not want to, be stuck in one facet or another, it'll be another type of mic. But to start this journey off right, let's talk about the king right now, in my opinion, of wireless microphones up until the Wireless Rode Pro came out. And that microphone system would be Sennheiser AVX combo set. About 4 years ago during COVID, this was roughly released. It changed how we did wireless work, period, when it came to doing ENG, live events, and a bunch of other things by having a singular mic that could do, a system that could do everything. So this one came with the combo of a wireless lavalier system that was a really nice 2.4. I don't know what they did with this system, but this was the first 2.4 system that was just really rock steady. And with it, it came with an ME2 mic, which is one of those really nice lavaliers. Great unit. It was not one of those easy to pull out headphone jacks. It was actually a screw down Sennheiser jack, which really locked that in place. Has an XLR input with an adapter to go to a normal camera or an ENG camera, like the Sony ones out there, the Canons out there, the little shoulder camcorder ones that were doing all the news. So it was really ready to go. And it came with an 835 Sennheiser microphone, which was a cardio microphone, which is great for doing interviews on the streets. This was our start off point. Now, the combo set at that time, I believe they still are around the same price, are, it doesn't say, roughly about $1,000. Beautiful microphones, great to work with. When I start off with these, wonderful. And the advantage of this particular microphone system is the microphone head. If it ever breaks, you can replace it. That module comes off, and it's replaceable with any one you want. So you can use a 42 module, an 845, a 945, a 935, or any other top end ones works with that. So it's just really an upgradable system. So this is what we started with. Loved it. It really, really helped us when we were getting into the ENG work, and you're grabbing the news, you're doing the interviews. You want to sound great, and we might be doing like a PA system that's a small one where we're only going to be 10 or 15 feet away from the mixer. This was our great start-off unit. And then to this day, it's probably one of my top units for when we go out to do interviews and things like that. And I'm not worried about having a secondary recording, or I've got a really controlled environment. That being said, as you notice, I'm using a microphone here over ear or over the head. That microphone happens to be, let me show you which one that it is. It's called an ME3. And the reason why I want to start here is this is where my journey kind of veered, if you want to call it veered per se. I started using this headset unit, and I had the Rode Wireless Go 2s. We had one of those days where we needed an extra microphone that was wireless. We had brought out a different microphone setup, and I had the Wireless Go 2s, and I was like, let's just take a shot. So I hooked up the ME3 directly to a Rode Wireless Pro Wireless Go 2 unit, like one of these here, and it worked. The volume was really low, but it worked. And part of the reason why the volume was really, really low on this system was if you use the ME3s, they have a requirement on them. And this is very important to know. It needs an input of 10 volts. It can go as low as 2 volts. If you look at the little paperwork, it goes 2 volts to 10 volts to make this actually pick up sound. Very, very important. And this little unit could do it. So it made me start thinking about what am I going to be doing for sound wise. So I already liked the Rode system. It had internal recording. It worked in environments where I knew there was RF issues because it would record internally, and I didn't have to worry about the loss of it, and I didn't have to carry an F2 from Zoom. So I started looking into this unit and got my hands on a few of these. So I've had a total 3 sets of these. One set is with a son of mine, and 2 sets are with me on a daily basis, and they have been my workhorse. The reason why they're my workhorse is versatility. There is not another set of wireless microphones without getting into the live events, which we're going to start talking about that in here in about 5 or 10 minutes, that works better than these. 32-bit float recording, a really great integrated app that allows you to do multiple things. Whereas DJI is good in one area, another manufacturer is good in another area, Shure is good in another area, Sennheiser is good in another area on these 2.4 bandwidth, but nobody does what these do. For example, there is an app for this where you can use it as a podcast right on your laptop. So you can just take 2 of these, 1 of these, and just start a podcast. Amazing. Get recordings directly on here, sound effects, the whole thing's really cool feature. There's an app on your cell phone too. You won't really be able to see it too well on this screen because I'm just having some fun at home and just doing these until I decide to get back to the studio later this week. But it's kind of nice to be out here just having a little fun with this. You get on this. Why are you picking up? Okay. Get on this, and then on your cell phone, there's an app. And I use this all the time because the integration is super fast, where I can do all of my quick. Well, apparently you're just not going to let me shut off. Let me do all of my quick changes, mic to mic, fast, with this being on the camera. 30 seconds later, I've got my high pass filters on, my settings for sound, if I'm going to use time code. I've also resynced the time clock on these, and then I have the recording times are accurate for the video I just recorded. 32-bit float recording on it too, and the advantage is it can actually grow with you in multiple ways. If you're looking to build this out in the future as an AV producer, or if you're a marketing manager or you're a director of your social media, this will allow you to move into like the Cook microphones, the Sennheiser microphones, the nice ones you can hide on a suit and everything else, and it looks great. I've done it with the mayor of Seattle multiple times, many CEOs, many EDs, executive directors. It's CEOs, CMOs, vice presidents, and it looks beautiful on them because it's professional looking. It looks as if you were on ABC, NBC, and any of the major affiliates, CNN, a Disney affiliate type work, which is phenomenal. On top of that, when I say this system grows, you can use this with it too, which is the Rode. Okay, get over here. Rode Interview Pro. This will actually sync with the receiving unit that comes with the Wireless Pro. So if you wanted to go with a similar system like the Sennheiser, where you have a lavalier and you have a stick microphone, you can do that on a single set. Have it in split or stereo sound left and right going into your camera, and you have a robust system. And the advantage of this too is this records 40 hours of time in it for like audio and 32-bit float. Sounds really great too, by the way. So it's a massively powerful system. And then integration. This is where it gets really even more powerful. And why I still think the Rode system is the best system for what we would be doing in our daily work. Let me find that tab real quick. You know when you have a bunch of tabs up and then you realize they got lost in the sauce, as they say, got lost? I got mine lost for a moment. I don't have a producer with me here today, so I'm doing this all myself. So where is the Rodecaster Pro? All right, so when we talk integration, the Rodecaster Pro 2 is another level of integration with the system. If you're doing a podcast, recording something like a visual storytelling, or you're doing whatever you happen to be doing for your live show, you can integrate the wireless microphone system from Rode, like this microphone, or the ones I'm using right now, into that audio unit. That's a whole nother level of wireless integration that you don't get with another system. And they keep the prices really good. So, for example, if I was to do two of these stick microphones and one of these wireless pro units, we're looking at possibly $1,000 max. Actually, the prices went down. So you're looking at $800 for this system, pre-tax. The Sennheiser system for with only one lavalier and one microphone is $1,000. You also get another advantage here too. Is with this system, with the Rode system, you get. And this sounds like advertising, but just I'm excited about the fact the technology's gotten this good. You get all the accessories you could possibly need. So you got two lavalier microphones. You've got every type of sound protection on there. So if there's wind muffs, black protectors, clip-ons, magnetic clips, they're all in there. And all that system can even work with, this mixer here, the Rodecaster Pro, which is super nice. So you can do wireless integration. You can do all the rest right here, along with the smart pads and all the rest. That's what makes the wireless systems like this phenomenal. Next on the list, if you're going to go the next level up, now we're going to start talking about Shure. The Shure BLX system is probably the best place to start. Let me get this Rodecaster off here. If you are looking at your entry level system to get into wireless microphones for PA work and all the rest, or live events, or if you are doing something where you're going to have quality UHF sound in an environment that doesn't have a tremendous amount of RF in it, the Shure BLX system is a great way to start off, and we're going to be in Shure for a little while here. Let's get that shown here. You do not have to do this. So, we're talking about going into the UHF system, and you want to get into the right way. There's a ton of them out there. And UHF wireless is probably the best way to go if you're looking for sound in a public address area that's going to go to a live stream, sound that needs to be recorded cleanly in a high RF area. And you don't want to rely on post production to make it happen. And because these have the 32-bit float recording inside of it, then you'll probably want to go with a nice UHF system. They can be used in multiple cases. In this particular case, I'm talking about doing it as a live stream or a live to tape with video and with somebody who might be on a panel. Could be a live event also where they're going to be speaking, and that's going to go live to tape for later usage. You want good sound for that. And I don't recommend these for that particular purpose all the time. You still can use them in the limited cases. But as you start getting past 2 to 3, 4 microphones, you definitely want to get the UHF. And to start you off with that, I would say go with the Shure BLX system. They have a nice 2 microphone system here. Let me show you. Oh, ads. No thanks. This system here is the 1 microphone system, but you can get a 2 microphone system for roughly around $700. And it comes with a nice little microphone here. It's just a 58 microphone. They sound great. They work great. And the nice thing, too, is you get the option of adding in more wireless accessories. So, for example, they got the dual microphone. Come on. Dual microphone. You got the racks. You got the chains. You got the covers. And it really does give you a nice entry point into these microphone systems. It's UHF, it's a good start. Now, if you're serious about a larger event and you're going to have 6, 7, 8, 9 people who could be mic'd up, so you have a voice of God, is the expression they call it. You have get off of this. You have a presenter, a moderator, a panel, and we just want to get them all mic'd individually and have them ready to go when they need to go. I'm going to recommend two systems for you. And Sennheiser does have a system for it. I just don't have enough experience with it yet to give it the thumbs up. That doesn't mean that Sennheiser isn't a great system, but they are. But what I'm going to recommend, if you're getting into a more robust area of 6 or more microphones, 5 or more microphones, is the SLX-D. This is really good up to about 8 to 10 microphones. It would be this particular one right here. These SLX-D systems are stackable, put into a rack, have the option of using any microphone you want to use with it. So if you see right here, there's this module. This module lets you connect any microphone you want to it. This is your lavalier microphone or body pack on you, and then you can just choose whichever lavalier you like. If you want over the ear or if you want one that goes on your chest, your choice there. You've got your in-ear microphones, which is really nice. There's a system with that sends sound back to you. And you've got your regular microphone, which is going to be one of many styles, but I kind of recommend the 58 betas. But beta just means it's more like a shotgun microphone where it has directed sound versus a cardio microphone with a 58, which allows, the reason why I want to use that one is you can talk like this and don't have to be super professional with the microphone. Whereas if you're using the 58, you have to talk with the microphone at your mouth, or you're going to get a lot of feedback and rejection and get that screeching sound. I do work with a lot of people and get them where they're going with that. This system is what you would use if you were doing up to 8, maybe 12 people. Anything beyond that, I would recommend the next level up from this. And here's the benefits of it. It's rackable. What I mean by that is you can put it inside of a box system and then pick the number of microphones you want in your system the way you want it configured. So if you want 1, 2, 3, 6, a dual setup like this, it's really up to you. Now, pricing wise, these aren't cheaper. They're more expensive. You're talking like $829 for this microphone. You're looking at $929 for one of those. Dual, what they call the B58s or Beta 58s, is $1,629 for a set of microphones. You're going to be spending a little bit of money on this particular system, and you're going to come out, with refined sound. This is their new Nexadyne mics. I really like those microphones. They sound great. They pick up sound. Need less EQing. There's a lot of engineers like to spend time EQing them. If you just want to get running and going, these don't need as much EQing, which is super nice because we're now pressed on time like you wouldn't believe. Next on my list of microphones that we're doing are going to be the ULDs. If you are in a large event and you want to maximize the number of presenters you have without worry of interference or microphones not functioning or not working, the ULXDs from Rode are amazing. There is a Sennheiser version. I have not worked with those, so I cannot recommend them, but I can't say they're bad because everything I've worked with Sennheiser has been phenomenal. So let's talk about the ULXDs. Where'd you go? There we go. Here's the ULXDs. These are definitely going to affect budgets. But as you can see on this picture here, hold on, I thought I had that picture up. My bad. Start this again. These will definitely affect budget. So when you're going into what's the budgeting for these are going to be up there in budget. Generally you're not buying these, you're renting these, and the SLXDs are buyable, but in most cases you're renting those too. And if you're renting the SLXDs, your whole system generally rents for the day between $200 and $300. The ULXDs you're looking at 279 to 400 per day for up to four mics, and that's just your basic mics. That doesn't include the nicer microphones that are available for it. As you can see, there's a laptop with this. This laptop is really showing how you would use the RF checker to see if there is and what type of interference there is in the area. And with the ULXDs, you can refine it down to the actual channels and bands that best work with the least amount of interference. They also have the most versatile set of equipment. So you're looking at desk microphones that have those podium mics. You're looking at the wireless microphones. You're looking at handheld microphones. You're looking at so many different styles of microphones in this system. And with the racking capability of it too, like if you're going to invest into this and you're going to start building your own, this is one of those scalable ones. Like it says right here, sure, scalable. It is truly scalable. You can throw these in the racks, so you have them in your office, pull them out, and they're ready to go. They do come in a lot of different systems, but as I was showing you here, I mean, we're talking a basic one microphone about $1,000, and that's not even one of their higher end microphones. That's just your basic microphone, and that's not including the rechargeable battery and more. So, I mean, there's a lot of extras that you can get for this, but things kind of start to add up in this system. So if you're ever wondering why, we're doing an event and we go, hey, by the way, we're going to have to put a rental fee on that of 500, 1,000, $1,500 for microphones. This is why. It's the same aspect as when you're doing video. We're putting that $1,500, $2,000 charge on video just for the equipment for a couple of cameras and microphones, cameras, lights, and stuff like that. It's the same thing on the audio side, just to make sure it sounds great. And this will definitely up what you're doing in productions. A lot of times we find ourselves in a situation where we want to give you the best sound, the best lighting, the best everything, and we have to adjust for it. And these are also can be used in multiple styles of productions. I know people, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but because they're going to be in the same environment for 3 or 4 days doing these interviews and everything, they will actually set up similar type systems to be connected into their audio recording system for their built-in studios. So they have multiple scenes in the studio, and they just have these SLXDs or ULXDs set up to be the best way you can do your video setup with lavaliers and other stuff without worry about interference. They may be doing 2 or 3 different shows in the same building, and this is to keep the RF out. Because yes, you can go with, say, like a Sony RF system, or you can go with a Shure RF system or a Sennheiser on-camera RF system. But if you have 4 or 5 or 6 different shows going in the same warehouse building where you've got all your audio at, you're going to run into problems. And that's the reason why we do some of the things we do when we're doing these in studio. We're going to be the same position. Sometimes we're doing hardwire, but today, I'm doing completely wireless because I wanted to show off wireless. It's like, hey, we got wireless. We're going to talk about wireless. And that's pretty much the show today. Once again, this is about coffee, cameras, and more. So the more today is going to be audio and how it affects, the videos we're going to be doing down the road. Like I said, Rode is probably the best overall powerful units to get your hands on. Oh, coffee cup for the day. This one's from Texas. Flew down to Texas, and it was beautiful, and got the cup. Ton of fun, and it was great. I'm going to recommend right now, if you're going to look at any wireless systems out there, for intermediate and beginners in social media, I'm going to recommend the Rode Wireless Pros as the way to go. At $300, well, now they're $300, they were $400 previously. You can't beat these. USB-C into your phone or any device that takes USB-C protocol for audio. You can add a professional stick microphone for interviews on the street and on the go, which allows you to put like your logos and everything on it. And this is only like $250. If you're worried about accessories, DJI, I'm talking to you. This one comes with the cables. It comes with 2 professional lavaliers. And these are, once again, screw tight lavaliers. So they aren't going anywhere. Data transfer goes from the case, and this is one of those weird and very important things that most of us don't think of is the data cable. So they actually give you a true data cable, a 60 watt, 5 gigabit cable. So transferring data is going to be really easy. They give you all the wind muffs and everything else. Now that part, all the manufacturers done very well on. They give you wind muffs and stuff. And this also gives you integration and easy usage into any system. So if you're on the go and say for instance you're doing an event and you're doing some event coverage and then you get requested, hey, I know all your cameras are kind of used up, but we want to get some social media stuff. The roads allow you to go directly from your iPhone, your Samsung, or your Android, hook in the USB-C cable, your unit, get out there, take some footage, get some quick interviews on the go, and they sound really good when you do that. If you have the stick microphone, it's even better. It's just one unit in and the stick microphone, and you can just get people just talking about the event. It opens up more possibilities. And this is for all of you here who are chief marketing officers, all of you who are part of your visual and social media team. Having the ability to have this go out and be connected to a cell phone and give you studio level quality sound. And one of the other facets of it is it records a 32-bit float recording internally that you can use later in any of your social media work, meaning that if you've got like a mix of previous footage you have from an event and you wanted to bring in the interview and you didn't want to have to look for that interview footage, you could just take the interview audio that was on here and just add it to it in the commentary. So, long story short, if you're looking for anything, I recommend the Rhodes to start off with or the Sennheisers. I recommend the Rhodes a little bit more because they have the internal recording and they do a great job of integrating with multiple systems. The other one I recommend is the Sennheiser combo systems, which are really, really good. You don't need the UHF in most cases, and if you're in an area where you need the UHF, the best system that I know of right now is the Sony one. Let me see if I can find it. If you're absolutely going to be using the UHF, I'm going to recommend the Sony. There's you go. This should be it right here. Yes, I'm slow on this. I didn't pick this one out as one of the ones I was going to show today. Uh, but this is going to be one of the ones I'm going to recommend. Find it. If I can find one that has the full setup that I would do. There you go. Is it a D26 or D27? I think it's a D26. There we go. Yes, I don't have a producer for today's show. I'm just having fun doing this myself. These are one of the shows I'm refining, so please forgive me. All right, let's talk about this one real quick. By the way, B&H is a great place to buy these. You have to find an authorized dealer. First off, you got to know which frequency you're going to get, and if you are a Sony user, these have an advantage over everybody else because they are usable with your MI shoe. With comes with this adapter right here, which is really cool. So you can use this adapter, and it powers the microphones and everything. So if you have uh, FX3 and FX30, A7 A7R4, pretty much any Sony since the A7 4 forward, you will get digital to digital audio. You will not have to go through an analog converter, which is really, really nice. This is a two microphone system. It's a Sennheiser connector. You got a lot of choices for signals. Here in the United States, I'd recommend the 470 to 542s because those frequencies will work really good, or the 940 to 941 to 960. So either one of these, you're looking at about $1,400. So if you really wanted something that's going to, look and feel like what you're used to having, especially for those who are used to UHF, this is the way to go right here. Beyond that, I appreciate you watching the live stream. For those who have watched today, oh man, terrible me. Sorry. Let's try that one more time. I was sitting here talking and I thought I had that on there. I told you, no producer today. Here we go. These are 1400. Here's it. You would get two body packs, two lavaliers. They're screw-on locking in place. You have two outputs, two inputs on that unit right here. Also comes with this adapter, which allows you to use the MI shoe to power everything. And then for frequencies, 470 to 542 is going to be great, and 941 to 960. The 536 to 608 has some areas that are blocked out now in the United States, so I would not recommend getting them with those frequencies. Beyond that, just enjoy a very good and robust, sound system if that's the way you're going to go, because it is really a fabulous and powerful system to work with. Okay, now, coffee of the day. Let's talk about it. They aren't a sponsor. I don't ever expect, well, they might be a sponsor someday. Cafe Vita puts together an amazing brew of coffee. Keurig, great to make your coffee in. If you got those little stainless steel cups, they're great. And then, of course, a little bit of cave. Someone got me out of using sugar and got me into a cave. And then we're doing a light brew because I love caffeine. The darker the coffee, the less caffeine's in it. So in this particular case, the lighter the brew, the better the coffee. That being said, appreciate you watching. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye now. Oh, yeah. Hold on. One more thing. We're doing a broadcast tomorrow for the mayoral debate. Please watch us on Q13. Bye.